Imagine an employee who gets reassigned to a completely different role 25 times in a span of 21 years. In a typical corporate environment, an HR department would flag that level of turnover as a glaring sign of incompetence. But inside the Indian Administrative Service, that exact same statistic points to something entirely different, a dangerous level of effectiveness. The person generating these statistics is Tukaram Mundhe, an officer frequently referred to by the public as the Singham of Maharashtra. To understand the man causing so much friction at the highest levels of government, we have to look at where he started. This quiet dirt path winds through Tadsana village in the Bede district, a sharp contrast to the sprawling municipal corporations he would eventually command. The friction happens because local power structures, construction cartels, supply syndicates, and mining mafias often operate by co-opting municipal governments. When a stubborn officer refuses to look the other way, these groups utilize the only weapon they have left, leveraging political connections to force an immediate administrative transfer. Mundhe's 2 decades in the service serve as a real-time stress test of this exact bureaucratic loop. Every time he unpacks his bags, the countdown to his next eviction begins. We can break his methodology down into a predictable sequence. Phase 1 is the immediate audit. The moment he takes a new post, he systematically examines the local ledgers and operational routines. In jurisdictions like Solapur and Navi Mumbai, the audits revealed widespread illegal encroachment. The response was physical and swift. Municipal bulldozers rolled out to dismantle multi-story high-rises constructed illegally by local real estate cartels. Knowing the internal bureaucracy was often compromised, he implemented a program called Walk with Commissioner. Instead of residents filing complaints through a labyrinth of middlemen who might bury the paperwork, they spoke to him directly on the street. The enforcement extended well beyond city limits. During his tenure as collector in Solapur, he organized night raids along local riverbeds, physically intercepting the heavy machinery used by illegal sand mining mafias. Tearing down a cartel's physical infrastructure serves a specific purpose. It breaks the psychological dominance these groups hold over a town, proving to local citizens that the syndicates are not untouchable. But physical force has a shelf life. Arrests can be appealed, and buildings can be rebuilt once an officer is transferred. To make his work survive his inevitable departure, Mundhe began rewriting the systemic code of the municipalities he governed. As commissioner in Nashik, he deployed automated dashboards to manage municipal tax collections and vendor contracts. This digital system was designed to instantly flag and cancel bogus tenders before a human hand could approve them. We see a similar strategy applied here to the green and white buses of the Pune public transit system, known as the PMPML, which was suffering from severe operational rot. By enforcing strict operational audits and maintenance schedules, the intervention yielded measurable outcomes. Financial hemorrhaging was slashed, and the percentage of the bus fleet actually out on the road picking up passengers dramatically increased. A digitized, automated system doesn't take bribes. By removing human bias from the administrative process, local syndicates find it incredibly difficult to quietly undo the reforms after he's gone. This leads to phase 3 of the cycle. When their profit margins dry up, local cartels and threatened contractors pool their political leverage to force a sudden, unceremonious reassignment. There is a stark contrast between why these transfers are ordered in closed-door meetings and what the general public actually experiences on the ground. On multiple occasions, the news of his impending transfer triggered spontaneous citizen protests. Crowds took to the streets, actively demanding that the state government reinstate him. The very mechanism designed to punish the officer, the abrupt transfer, ends up serving as the ultimate, undeniable proof of his integrity to the voters. There is an unintended consequence to continuously moving an effective administrator. Eventually, you run out of small municipalities, and they end up with statewide jurisdiction. This imposing white structure is the state headquarters for the Food and Drug Administration. Look at the sheer scale of the 2026 FDA enforcement campaign. Under his command, officers struck over 1,100 locations across Maharashtra, inspecting restaurants, sweet shops, and milk processing units. The financial damage dealt to illegal operators was massive. The campaign busted tobacco and gutka syndicates, culminating in a seizure of illicit goods valued at over 34.66 crore rupees. The policy impact was immediate and visible on the ground. Teams sealed unsafe kitchens like the one seen here, and strictly enforced a nationwide ban preventing the sale of junk food and soft drinks near school zones. The strategy meant to contain his influence completely backfired. Shifting him from post to post merely exported his uncompromising methods across a much wider territory. Those 25 transfers reveal how often this collision between an officer and a local power structure repeats. From Solapur to Pune, the order to move was the final predictable step in a cycle of reform and retaliation. It highlights a difficult reality about public administration. Inside a compromised system, real reform rarely happens from the comfort of a secure desk. Cleaning up the ledgers and enforcing the law requires a willingness to do the job exactly as it is written, even if it means you always have to keep your bags packed.